My wife used my first name, and I knew it was bad. I am writing this because a few people asked how I knew something was wrong before Nora said it out loud. We have been together long enough that most of our life is small habits. She calls me Cal. I call her Nor. Forms and trying to get my attention across a crowded store are about the only times she uses Caleb. Years ago, mostly as a joke, we said if one of us ever texted the full name, it meant stop and pay attention. By the time this happened, we had a brand new baby, Willa, and we're both running on fumes. Nora was home on leave. I was finishing a late shift and thinking about bottles and sleep when my phone lit up. Caleb, did you leave the back gate open? That was the first wrong thing. The name. The second was the question. Our back gate had been sticking for months. We barely used it, and she knew that better than I did. I called right away. She picked up on the second ring and sounded calm in a way that was too careful. She said the baby had finally gone down and asked how far out I was. Nora never asked that. We share location. She also always says love you before hanging up. That time she just said, okay. Nora is not a dramatic person. If she needs help, she asks straight. That careful voice scared me more than crying would have. I was already in the car, but the drive home turned into this ugly slow crawl where every red light felt personal. At the first one, I opened the camera app for our porch. The front looked normal. Then I checked the side camera. The gate was open. The light over the kitchen door was on. There was a dark shape near the bins that I could not make sense of, and then it moved out of frame. That was when my stomach dropped for real. I called our neighbor Matt first because he is home most nights. I told him not to go inside, just look from his yard and call me back. Then I called emergency services and said I thought my wife and baby were in the house with someone who should not be there. Saying it out loud made my hands start shaking. Matt called back while I was still driving. He said the basement doors were cracked open, and there was a bike against our fence that did not belong to us. He could hear our dryer running, which made no sense because Nora never ran it that late with the baby asleep. The person on the phone kept asking for my street and my wife's name, and I remember feeling angry at every car in front of me for not disappearing. I texted Nora one thing. Are you locked in? She sent back yes. A minute later she sent, baby with me. Nothing else. That was enough. The police got there a minute before I did. They would not let me go in. I hated them for being right. I stood in the street while 3 officers went through my house with flashlights, and one stayed near me asking where she might hide. I said the nursery closet first, then the upstairs bathroom. Then I realized I was talking too fast and could barely breathe. What I remember most is how quiet the house looked from outside. No screaming, no crash, just our porch light, the same dying plant Nora kept meaning to replace, and my whole life inside. Then an officer at the front door shouted that he had them. A second later Nora came out barefoot, pale as chalk, holding Willa flat to her chest under a blanket. She did not cry. I did. Right behind her, 2 officers walked out, a man in work gloves and a dirty gray hoodie. He had come in through the basement and was halfway through our storage room when she heard him. She locked herself in the nursery closet and texted me from there. Later we learned he had been trying doors on the block. There was nothing special about our house. That somehow made it worse. After everyone left and Matt finally took Willa so Nora could drink water, I asked why she did not just text help. She said she was scared any extra noise would carry, and she needed something I would catch fast without thinking. So she used my full name and asked about the one gate we both knew could not be open unless somebody forced it. We did not sleep much that night. Near morning, when the house was quiet again, and Willa was back in her bassinet, Nora put her hand over mine and said, I knew you would notice the name.